But what we're looking at is let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy the times and the memories that we create when we are having a cigar. You know. Sometimes what you have to do is make sure that when you're starting a cigar, it can kind of be over the top, because what you're doing is you are lighting up a cigar and you're trying to get the flame started, so you're taking big gulps of smoke in at one particular time, back to back to back to back, and it can kind of make you cough and do all that kind of stuff, because it's really just too much smoke. And I think that we come across situations and issues because, first of all, a lot of the times we don't know how to light our cigars. We think, okay, well, hey, I'm just going to put a flame to it. I'm going to put a flame to it and then open it up. If you're smoking with wooden matches, then what you're going to do is you're going to take the tip of that match, make sure you got a good long soft flame to it, and what you're going to do is you're going to introduce the cigar to the flame, and it's going to come in at a toppling motion, and then you want to make sure that you turn it, then you puff, because you want to almost like get it started before you just go and light and puff it up in your mouth. You want to get it started, bring it up to your mouth, and take it in. So that's what you want to do. That's how you want to identify it. Now, once you do it and take it in under that format, then what it will do, what it will do at that point is it will allow for you to get an understanding, and you're not rushing that cigar to try to get flavor to whether or not you want to like it, or how you started. Because what you want it to be is you want it to be just a clean, you want your smoke to be a clean taste and aroma of the cigar. That's why the wood matches are really one of the better ways to smoke your cigar. Or if you can't do wood matches, you can always do cedar sticks, because you have to soft flame that cigar, and you're toasting the cigar before you even get involved with it. It's almost like when you're trying to be enticing. Hey, listen, when you come over, what is it that you like to drink? What is it that you want to eat? Those are the things. And for the females, I guess, what you want to see me in, what's going to intensify this situation to get it to where I want it to be. Now, some people will say that's manipulation. Some people will say that's flirting. So I think that we have to be we have to identify that off the rip. It's just communicating. We have to learn how to communicate, because I'm gonna tell you why. Something that a young lady told me back in the day when we was working together, and she said something that was crazy to me. She said to me, "It's only sexual harassment when you're ugly as hell." And it threw me, because I'm like, what do you mean? Sexual harassment is sexual harassment. And she says, no. She said, to women, sexual harassment begins if they are not attracted to you. If they are not attracted to you, that is sexual harassment. But if you are attracted to them, it's flirting. As long as it's not over the top, and long as I'm the one that determines how the flirting goes. and I make the first move and the first decision on what's going to happen with this. So people have to understand that was crazy to me. Because as a man, I look at it like if you say someone was trying to holler at you, I take that for what that is. And for me, that's what's important. If you're telling me, hey, so-and-so is doing this and doing that, what you mean? Men look at it one way, that's inappropriate. But I guess men look at it one way, women look at it a different way. And you know, it's crazy. We have to identify the simple fact that there are people out here that they're very friendly. You got some out here that are very manipulative. Well, excuse me for that, but they're very convincing of manipulating the situation. And I think that we have to truly recognize those situations. And if you're not recognizing those situations, what does that say about you? What does that say about you not being able to identify the simple fact that why a person is there with you? What's the purpose of them being there? Why are they there? If they are there because they are a showpiece, they look good standing up, and I'm speaking to the men. If it's a situation whereas you have her as a trophy, what happens with trophies? They may shine for a minute, but eventually they dull out and they sit over in the corner. And you sitting back reminiscing about a time in the past when you were that particular person instead of thinking about where you are now. Because trophies are a remembrance of when you were at a certain level. As you get older, you haven't created too many new trophies. And that's what I'm saying, what happens with trophies. They have a tendency to dull out and they lose their luster from time to time. You know, some people know how to be able to appreciate the fact of, you know, of their trophy case. Some can, some can't. And once you can identify the factor of that, then you can start to realize where you are and how you actually feel about certain things. We can sit back and play around with it as long as we want to, but we can't outdo time. We cannot outdo time. We can't beat time. We can't. Right now, time is 100-0. They haven't lost a bout. We've tried to finesse it with time. We've tried to, you know, start workouts and eat right, thinking that that's going to give us more time. And I've realized that time waits for no one. And guess what? When it's your time, it is your time. It is your time. And regardless of whatever the situation may be, I want to be able to be healthy for me to the point where I'm not indigent on someone else or I got to rely on someone else. I want to be able to get around and move around at my own pace and at my own speed. So, you know, I'm never going to be the guy that can go up and dunk anymore. Them days over with. That's a memory. But what I've learned to do is evolve my memories and try to make my memories ongoing. I create new memories with people, experiences, opportunities, and just learning people, being around people, laughing. These are things that I'm appreciating and spending time with family and joking around and not try to take everything so serious, because life is already serious enough as it is. I don't need to help that out. It got its own pace on that. So I wanted to say this to you, and all of that goes to this. That list that is out there where people are talking about, do not take a woman to this place, this place, this place, this place, this place. Keep coming to the devil's door. Eventually somebody gonna open the door up. Stop knocking at a door that you really and truthfully do not want to go. You already got men are now in conversations where they're talking about how things are going. That was something that was never done. We all knew it, and when we got around each other, we talked about it a little bit, but it wasn't nothing that was over the top. But that was also no social media at the time. So now you have social media, and it's almost like it's on steroids. Our social agenda is on steroids. Everybody, if you have a phone, you have access for potentially creating your own platform and monetarily make money from it. I never thought that I would be into cat videos and dog videos, animal videos, but it's kind of entertaining. But it's also very consuming. There's been so many movies that's been made talking about social media, how we are going to take it. And the sad part about it is that it always ends up the same way. And it got some truth and validity to it. Because what we're looking at is, when you look at all the movies that was generated around social media, you can see yourself and you can see your family and you can see your friends doing all of those things right to this day. So for the ladies that are out there talking about, hey, they can't go these particular places, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. That's not going to be a good situation for you, and it's not going to be. It's a lonely time, and it's all It's like a person can be so stubborn, even when they know that they are wrong. They're going to convince themselves that they're right. We have to identify that sometime when you're wrong, the quicker you go ahead and realize the fact that you're wrong, the better off the situation will be. So, I think that when you get into situations like that, you have to think about what is more important. What is more important for you? What are you trying to achieve in life? What are you trying to achieve right now? Is it worth it? Is it worth going through the stress in your life? Find someone who loves you, love them back. A friend of mine always say, like who like you. Because anything else you can't control. You can't control. Same thing with friends. Same thing with people that you enjoy spending time with. And man, if y'all got similar interests and y'all can deal with one another, y'all good. If it's a situation where you have to identify and question something else, something going on, that may not be a good situation for you. It might not be. So, I want everyone to sit back and take the words that I have and let it soak in and let it breathe. And then take the opportunity to understand what has been said to you. I've learned that I used to jump to the conclusion a lot. I'll be ready to come back at the moment that I saw or I heard a word that was a trigger word. But then I have to understand, why is that a trigger word? Because I'm trying to go in premeditated with a conversation that you really and truthfully don't know how sometimes you're gonna react on certain words. And when it catches you off guard, you have a tendency not to know how to react to it or how to deal with it. So we have to identify and understand that process and that prowess alone, because of the simple fact that we cannot identify or understand when we're going through pain. And when situations have arrived that has pushed us out of a place and made us start to react instead of act, it just opens up something about a person that they're not ready for it. Some people are ready to be able to go into and look in the mirror. Some people can't. And so when they hear trigger words, they automatically start formulating what they think a person is going to say, instead of listening to the conversation. And sometimes, you learn with wisdom on that. You have to make sure that you identify the fact that, hey, let me listen to what the point is, because I might be jumping the gun on the point. And I'm not listening to nothing else, because I've heard, trigger words, this, that. Now I'm like, okay. And so you have to be able to identify and understand that, hey, listen, sometimes let me listen to what they're trying to say to me. And that way you can be more radical about your next step. You can identify, this is a threat, this is not a threat. Okay, I can now have a conversation with this person so that they can listen to what it is that I'm saying to them. And I can understand what they're saying to me. That way it becomes an effective conversation. So that's what it's about. I enjoy, once again, I'm doing the Rare Pink by Fuente. The Opus Pink. That's what I've always known it as, the Opus Pink. But it's a rare. They only release it at certain times. And so if you get an opportunity to try one, you're going to love it. It's a full body, but it's a smooth full body. So what'll happen is that if you're looking for that strength of that barrel choke to you, or that pop to it, it's not going to give you that. What it's going to give you is just straight flows of premium tobacco, good flavor, and a little bit of spice and pepper to kind of tickle at the end, at the back. And so it's definitely a intoxicating cigar. I've always been an Opus guy. I love them. But there's a lot of things that I like, and I try to have my catalog. Excuse me. I try to have my catalog um, pretty open. I like certain cigars at certain times. Um, I'm never going to be the guy that comes in every time you see me, I got the same cigar. I'm always going to be trying something out based upon how I feel, based upon what I've eaten, it's based upon what I'm drinking. That determines how I smoke. That determines what I'm looking for. Am I looking for, if I just have some sweets, I might look for something that's going to be a little bit more stout, heavy bodily to it, maybe something that has a Brazilian taste to it. And with that Brazilian, with that chocolate or anything that's kind of chocolatey, it's just a great pair. Um, and that's what I'm saying. It's a difference between being a cigar smoker and being a person that smokes cigars for the taste and for the understanding of it. Now, if you just a cigar guy, cigar smoker, then that's fine. That's great. But if you ever want to get education, holla at me. Holla at me. Holla at me. And what I'll do is I'm gonna give you all the knowledge that I have so that you can go out there and you can develop and you can do the things that you need to do to determine what it is that you want to do and how you want to go about smoking. So you're educated, you're understanding. Listen, this is a $9 to $10 billion industry annually with limited advertising. So you do the math. You know, I've seen more people sell cigars now than everything I can. And so, it's just, hey, I'm also in a city where there's over 200 stores, Metro. There's over 200 stores, Metro Atlanta, and that is crazy because you can find a cigar shop around here now before you can find a gas station. So it's becoming abundance here. So just understand the culture. Smoke well, my friends. Like I said, enjoy. I'm doing a rare pink. Holla at you.